Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Falls. We want to welcome you back to Skyway for the 2021 class commencement ceremony. I'd like to start by welcoming Superintendent Rocco Aducci, the Board of Education members in attendance, the family and friends of our graduates, and of course, the most important people out here tonight, the class of 2021 themselves. We've got a beautiful night out here. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's informal. As you can see behind me, no one's handed me anything to eat or drink yet, but before the night's over, I'm sure you'll see a hot dog in my hand at some point. Let me start with a few thank yous. First, we want to thank Rocco Aducci for coming to Newton Falls to be our superintendent. If he hasn't been around to shake your hand, he will find you at some point tonight or in the next few days during the summer. He is the most genuine and personable superintendent that I've had the experience of working with in the 35 years that I've been here. Secondly, I want to thank Rachel Rankin, my assistant principal. You know her as the social media person for the district, the voice of Newton Falls for, hello, we don't have school for the next 2 weeks, we're remote. As well as Rachel runs around picking up the pieces of the puzzle that I break on a daily basis. One key thing for Rachel, though, is this is a very special class for her. This was the last class that she had the opportunity to teach 10th grade English to. She then moved into administration, so this was it for her. I'd like to thank Pete Shelby, our senior class advisor. Pete is responsible for senior t-shirts, for senior service day with Mr. Bogus, for planning and organizing all the major activities that have gone on this year with the seniors. I want to thank my secretary, Dee Howard. It was baptism under fire for her. You come into the high school, which is one of the most busiest buildings in any school district, only to find out that we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're trying to figure out who's in school, who's not in school, who's remote. Are they going to be here next week or not? As well as keeping me organized. That in itself is an impossible chore. If you've been in my office, you know the piles you've seen and understand that. We need to thank the students need to thank their guidance counselors, Scott and Kernan, Don Nicholson, and Mrs. Peace for all the hard work they put in over the last 4 years, getting them through all the requirements they need. We want to thank Mr. Semrau. In 6 very short weeks, that was the only amount of time he had with all students in the building to prepare tonight's musical selections for the band and the choir. We also want to thank all of our Newton Falls educational staff and classified staff for their dedication to our students and helping them get through the last 13 years to get here today. One last big thank you goes out to all the parents. For 13 years, you have got up every morning and fought with your child to get them here tonight. So students, if you're out there near a horn, start beeping it very loud in thanks to your parents for all the things they've done to get you here. Lastly, we need to thank Tom Gregory Films for being here. They've been with us through the pandemic for basketball, football, many other athletic events. They've been here with us many hours filming our graduates receiving their diploma covers from their parents and personalizing tonight by film. And he's been here since 6 o'clock prepping and getting things ready that we could be doing this live tonight with you. We want to thank Skyway for welcoming us back, and we want to thank our senior class officers for choosing to come back here to Skyway. It was a special event last year. They got to participate in it as junior class officers, and they're very thrilled and happy that they were able to plan this event with us. Again, thank you to the parents and students that are in attendance tonight. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Aducci for a couple very quick words.
He always says a couple quick words. Don't get me behind a camera and being an informal. And here we are, seniors. Congratulations. I've only been with you 1 year, but I'll tell you what, it's been a great ride. It was a first for all of you from last year all the way through this year, and it's been a first for me also I've been in education for 47 years and it's been a number of firsts, but nothing like tonight. Nothing like tonight. I want to introduce our treasurer. This is Carla Click. I didn't come on a date with her, okay? Even though this is a drive-in, and when you look at the drive-in, I was in this drive-in maybe 40 years ago, and what did I see? I think it was the first Freddy Krueger movie, okay? And he said, this guy right next to me, Mr. Crowder, said, don't be surprised if I throw some popcorn at you. But you don't know, when I was here was just the worst part of that, okay? So I want to congratulate everybody again, and thank you for accepting me as a superintendent, and I hope I'm here for another 4 years. If not, I'll be across the street at that nursing home, and I'll have Bailey Adams bring me my food. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Rocco. Now, if we can get that microphone out of your hand before you decide to say something else. We're actually going to hand it to Bailey Adams. Bailey, at this time, if you want to start us off with the invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats and bow your heads. Dear Lord, I ask that we are blessed with your presence tonight on this memorable occasion, and I thank you for this day. I pray for the success of my fellow classmates and that they may be blessed with good fortune and hope. I thank you for bringing everyone together today. May today mark the beginning of a bright new chapter for all of the class of 2021. In Jesus' name, amen. The class of 2021 would like to welcome you all to tonight's commencement ceremony, where we will recognize the achievements made by my fellow classmates. Today is the spark to light the flame for all of our futures. I would like to congratulate all of the friends, family, and students watching this evening's ceremony. To heed the advice of our superintendent, Mr. Ducci, may you go forth with love, honesty, loyalty, and respect. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Bailey. At this time, Mr. Semrau, the band, and the choir have musical selections. Enjoy your evening.
Hello. Now I'd like to present our baccalaureate speech, Reverend Steve Spurlock of Newton Falls First Baptist Church.
The story is told about 8-year-old Tommy, who just loved baseball. On one particular afternoon, he took his bat and his baseball and made his way to the backyard. With his favorite team's baseball cap snugly upon his head, Tommy held the bat in hand, took the baseball and tossed it up in the air, and with all the confidence in the world, he announced, "I'm the greatest hitter." He swung with all his might and missed. He then bent down to pick up the ball, and once again, firmly grasping the bat, he proclaimed, "I'm the greatest hitter." Tossing the ball into the air, Tommy once again took aim at the ball and swung and missed. The frustration within his spirit began to intensify. He adjusted his ball cap, rubbed his hands together, held the bat even more firmly than before, picked up the ball, tossing it ever higher, and exclaimed, "I'm the greatest hitter," and swung the bat with all the power he could muster, and missed. Seeing the ball lying motionless on the ground, Tommy stared intently at it. He let out a long sigh, and then, after a long pause, a smile began to break across his face. He once again bent over and picked up the baseball, and with the bat firmly in his grasp, and tossed the ball into the air and triumphantly proclaimed, "I'm the greatest pitcher." To the class of 2021, you are very much like Tommy, for you have had to adjust, rearrange, modify, and alter your final year of high school. It's not been easy. In reality, it's been difficult. But along with your family, with teachers and instructors, and the school administration, you have been able to adapt to all the curveballs thrown your way, especially through this particular school year. You are to be commended and applauded for this accomplishment. Well done. Though none of you would have chosen the road that you've had to navigate over this past scholastic year, my best guess would be that in the midst of all the challenges and hurdles that you have faced, there has been at least one redeeming quality that has emerged. You have grown. The evidence of such growth is in the simple fact that you are here graduating. You have achieved and accomplished all that was required, even in the midst of a pandemic. And today is the culmination and celebration of this growth in your life. Now, may I offer to you a challenge based upon this experience. Keep on growing. Your graduation from high school is not an end point. As you move into the next chapter and chapters of your life, I would encourage you to continue to be a person that grows. As a help and as an example of this process, I would call attention to a very unique individual, Jesus Christ. There's an interesting verse of scripture tucked away in the Gospel of Luke that sheds some fascinating insight and understanding about Jesus' life. Now, mind you, very little is known about the growing up years of Jesus. The Bible is very silent about such. But Luke provides one point of observation about his life when he was but a young man. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. For just a moment, let me draw attention to the characteristics mentioned in this verse. One such characteristic that Luke records is that Jesus grew in stature, or he grew in height. That is, he grew physically. Now, no doubt at your graduation gatherings, at your open house, mom or dad or grandma or somebody is going to be posting pictures of you when you were very young. There will be some baby pictures perhaps. Some will have your first day of school pictures on display. You will probably be embarrassed to have your friends see the clothes or the hairstyle that you've worn through the years. But that's okay. You will probably have a good chuckle when you visit their party and get to see their pictures. But that's all a part of the growth process. You have grown physically. And then this verse of scripture also indicates that Jesus grew in wisdom. A very simple definition of wisdom is stated this way. Wisdom is putting your knowledge into action. Over these past 12 years, you have been exposed to an awful lot of knowledge, maybe more than you cared for. But a real key to growing is to take the knowledge and apply it, put it into practice. You are receiving a diploma, literally a certificate that states you have met and achieved a certain level of knowledge. Now the challenge is to take and apply that knowledge, to put it into practice as you move forward in your life. The remaining two characteristics mentioned in this verse are very much intertwined, I think. The text states that Jesus grew in favor with God and men. If I were to paraphrase this text, I would simply say that Jesus grew in his relationships with God and with others. Now, I would contend that the most important aspect of our lives are our relationships with others and our relationship with God. It's interesting to note that later on in his life, as an adult, Jesus was asked a question. What is the greatest commandment? Or to paraphrase, what is most important? Jesus responded with a simple answer. Love God. Okay. And then he went on a step further and said that the second greatest commandment was just as important as the first. Love others. Pretty basic, isn't it? Love God, love others. Now here's the challenge that I would propose to you, the class of 2021, and really to each and every one of us. Make this a growth goal in your life. Love God, love others. It's fascinating to me to see how this growth goal was actually lived out in Jesus' life. Now, track with me for just a moment. As a pastor, I see a hidden picture embodied in this growth goal in his life. It's kind of like that 3D artwork presentation, where you see a picture comprised of all these wavy lines, and after a period of time, suddenly your brain assimilates all the information and voila! You see this amazing 3D picture come to life. Here is the picture I see painted as Jesus grew in favor with God and men. The relationship with people, that is a horizontal relationship. The relationship with God, that is a vertical relationship. Now you take the horizontal relationship and overlay it on the vertical relationship, and the result is a very interesting picture. A cross. What Jesus ultimately did was to bring God and people together, all because of what he did on the cross. And the world has never been the same because of what he did. To the class of 2021, may I challenge you to keep on growing. And may you and I learn from the one who modeled this for us. My prayer for you is that you would indeed grow in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. Thank you.
And with me, I have the class of 2021 valedictorians and salutatorian. And now I'm pleased to present their distinguished speeches.
Good evening, everyone. As one of the valedictorians for the Newton Falls class of 2021, I would like to thank you all for attending tonight's ceremony and hope that you have enjoyed it thus far. To begin, I have to start with some thank yous. First, to my parents, thank you for everything you have done for me. You have been with me every step of the way, encouraging me, pushing me, and helping me find the best opportunities for my own personal growth. Together, they are my rock, and I do not know where I would be without them. I want to thank every teacher who has been involved in my education. All of you have continuously challenged me, and it has made me a stronger student. I want to thank every coach I have had. Without knowing it, you have taught me adversity, respect, and leadership skills that I will carry on with me in life. I want to thank my friends who have stuck with me through good and bad times. You have kept me sane and have reminded me that I still have to enjoy myself even when working hard in school. This day has been something I have dreamed of ever since I was a little kid, but I haven't done any of it alone. The cords, medal, and stoles I wear upon my neck are a representation of the amazing teachers who have helped me over the last 12 years. The 21 hanging from my tassel is a representation of my class as a whole, the work we have all done, and everything that we have achieved. The diploma I am receiving today is a representation of the support my parents, friends, and family have given me for the past 12 years. Getting to graduation is not a singular effort. In fact, it is the biggest group project I have ever worked on. Every teacher I have had and every student I have met has helped me get to this point. I have to credit part of the reason as to why I am the person I am today to anyone and everyone who has come into my life. You walk into high school, and on the first day, your very last day seems light years away. From start to finish, you spend just shy of 4 whole years in high school. 4 years sounds like a long time, but it's only 1,460 days of your estimated 27,375 days of life. Each day seems to drag on, but the years add up quickly, and I can remember the very first day of school like it was just a few months ago. People say high school is the best time of your life, but don't you think that would make for a sad life? High school sets you up to be independent and to hopefully learn that there is so much more to the world than what is confined in the halls of Newton Falls. This being said, I would like to address my peers. I hope that all of you find more to life beyond what high school offered you. I hope that you explore the world and that you pursue every dream that you have. I ask that you never doubt yourself and that you take in stride anything anyone has to say about you, because you are so much more than the words of others. I hope you never give up on yourself, and I hope that you continue to work hard for everything that you want. There is nothing that you can't do for yourself. Leaving these halls only means that life is in your hands now. It will be whatever you make of it, and I hope for all of my classmates that you are successful. I hope that you inspire those around you to reach beyond what may seem possible, and I hope that you're reminded that the sky is the limit. As cliche as it may sound, this is only the end to a new beginning. You are all capable of accomplishing great things. On that note, go Army, beat Navy, and congratulations to the Newton Falls class of 2021.
Good evening. I would like to thank all in attendance for coming out tonight to support my classmates and I. Standing here today is a moment I've been waiting for since freshman year. All of our hard work and dedication is finally paying off. However, I would be negligent if I didn't offer a piece of advice to future graduates. Don't allow your academic aspirations to stand in the way of living in the moment. These are the years we will cherish and remember for the rest of our lives. As Ida Scott Taylor said, live in the present and make it so beautiful that it will be worth remembering. I am grateful to have spent my high school years with my friends and classmates doing what makes us happy. While keeping school a priority, we created memories we will hold on to forever. I encourage upcoming seniors to cherish every day they have because it is all over in the blink of an eye. In closing, I would like to thank my teachers, counselors, principals, and superintendent for giving us the opportunities to learn, to make memories, and to succeed. Thank you to my mom and dad for instilling good morals, courage, and work ethic into my life. Without your influence, I would not be where I am today. But most importantly, I would like to thank my sister Jordan for showing me the way. She has always been a positive role model in my life and influenced me to achieve my goals and leave my mark. Having a big sister as your role model is a true gift and one that I will cherish forever. Lastly, I want to wish my fellow classmates good luck in their future endeavors. Make your memories wherever you go and leave your mark on this world. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Ask me 10 years ago where I would be in this moment, and I would tell you exactly here. I've never struggled in school, despite my mom's worry when I hid under a library desk on my first day of kindergarten. Luckily, my snakery did not apply to my grades. I am the only one here who went from our middle school to high school my entire academic career without receiving a single B. I was a teacher's expectation of a perfect student. I never struggled in school till I lost my vision, till I forgot how to walk, till I lost the nerve connection to my brain. I've never struggled in school till I looked in the mirror and couldn't recognize who was looking back. Ask me 1 year ago where I'd be in this moment, and I would tell you it was a past dream. Frankly, I didn't expect to graduate. I made peace with handling things I cannot control, yet something inside me refused to give up. I did it for the little girl who just received her first all-A report card, who stayed up all night to study for her test, the girl who lived and breathed academics. I wanted to prove it to her that some dreams just never change. Class of 2021, life is going to throw rocks and sometimes meteors in your path, but don't lose your dreams. Don't feel discouraged when your journey looks a little different. Don't feel pressured to make outsiders happy. Do it for that 8-year-old kid who inspired you on your path. Owe it to yourself and you will find the strength. Thank you and happy graduation, class of 2021.
Good evening. As we all know, the school year of 2021 has had an extreme impact on everyone at this event, possibly more severe than any other school year we have previously lived through. We had no idea that March 13th of last school year would be our last day we would have a sense of normalcy in our lives. This past school year was not what we asked for, nor what we waited 13 years for, but it was what we received. Nobody knew what was going to happen when COVID started. Frankly, we thought it was going to be over in just a few short weeks. Then, a few short weeks turned into months, which turned into an entire school year, a school year that will live on in history. You should not only be proud that you are here today graduating, but you should be proud to call yourself a member of the class of 2021. With the global outbreak of COVID-19, school had to be carried out in a completely new and unseen way, vastly different than it was before. Classes became virtual hybrids, peers became distant, and homework became just simply work. Teachers put in a lot of effort to transform their courses from in-person to online and did their best to support the education of each and every student through these unprecedented times. Since March of 2020, our daily lives have changed. We did not see each other every weekday. We could not hang out the same way we used to, and we could not get nearly as close to those we care about. The student parking lot that used to be full was near empty up until these last few months. This last year, senior year, was supposed to be the time of our lives. It was the last year we get to spend together with each other before going our separate ways, with many celebrations and events to commemorate our successful journey through the trails of high school. Through all the unfortunate that we have encountered, we have not cowered but prospered. The remainder of my speech will be focused upon happiness and not devastation. While we may have lost a great deal over the course of this past year, we must never forget the years that are behind us, 13 to be exact. When we stepped foot in kindergarten 13 years ago, we did not worry about what the future held. All we worried about was recess and lunch. But as we grew older, we started to become more concerned about how much longer we had together. This concern led us not to reminisce in the time that was left. Now the day is here for us to say goodbye. Most of us, whether you want to admit it or not, are sad to see this day come, not happy like we all thought we would be. 13 years is a long time, and in that time, we have made so many remarkable memories that can never be forgotten or replaced. I would tell you some of my favorites, but to be honest, there are too many to count, and we would be here all night. However, I can tell you where most of the important ones lie, in the year that will never be forgotten, our senior year. Like I stated before, it was not the most exciting year of our lives. We have had things ripped away from us that were supposed to be the highlight of our final year. Homecoming, band and choir concerts, Veterans Day, normal sporting event atmospheres, and just a sense of normality. However, with our class losing so much, we found ways to make memories with the little we were given. We worked with the administration and teaching staff to make the best of the situation at hand. Growing from our disappointments, the class of 2021 will be remembered not as the class that missed out, but as the class that came together and exceeded despite everything that was thrown at us. Congratulations to all of you, the class of 2021. Good luck to all, and may everyone find happiness in what the future holds.
My fellow graduates, we did it. Thank you for making the last 13 years a blast. Thank you for giving me the memories that I will cherish forever. Thank you for making my senior year incredible, even though we've had a crazy one. Over the last 4 years here at Newton Falls, we have learned a lot. Miss LeMay taught us the quadratic formula, Mrs. Donnelly taught us scientific names, and Mrs. Rankin taught us the perks of being a wallflower. These few teachers, along with many others, have taught us many things that have prepared us for the next week's test, college, our careers, and life. I'd like to thank every teacher at Newton Falls for everything they've taught me over the years and for always believing in me. Lastly, I'd like to thank my parents, step-parents, uncles, aunts, grandparents, and everyone else in my life for supporting and believing in me throughout the last 13 years. They're the only people that have gotten me to this point in my life. If it wasn't for the support system I've had all throughout high school, I would not be standing here giving the speech. To the class of 2021, again, I am blessed to have spent the last 13 years with all of you. I hope our futures are bright and every single one of you experiences success. Congratulations to all of the 2021 graduates.
I would like to start my speech by saying thank you to all my family, friends, and teachers who have helped me become the woman I am today and that made high school pretty enjoyable. I had a pretty good time in my 4 years here, but looking back at high school, I wish I wouldn't have tried so hard. Quite frankly, this valedictorian medal isn't as special as it was made out to be, and I've seen some current juniors upset because they lost their valedictorian status, but I wish they would realize that the medal doesn't mean that they aren't as good as the people with them. Yeah, it looks good and it feels good knowing that my hard work paid off, but something that doesn't feel good is knowing how many memories I could have made instead of sitting in my room all the time, and how much stress I could have saved myself by studying for a B instead of an A. Because a B is still really good, but we are taught that everything less than an A means that you're not working hard enough. And if I have learned anything from COVID taking away our senior year, it would be turn your I would haves into I dids. I would have gone to the basketball game, but I needed to study. I would have joined that club, but I wouldn't have time for other things. I wish now that I would have went to those games and done everything that I didn't. The first basketball game I went to was one of the last games of my junior year, and I had the time of my life. The energy and the hype around the games was something I will never be able to get back. I can't describe to you what I would do to be able to go to another football game with the band. So you could say this speech is advice for underclassmen because I don't want them to have the same regrets I do. Go support your classmates, whether you're friends with them or not, and whether you actually enjoy the games or not, because I can tell you this, I don't enjoy watching basketball at all, but I loved supporting and cheering on our basketball team. So go to the football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and softball games, even if you don't enjoy the sport. Have fun and make the most out of what you have before it's all gone, because those 4 years do go by very fast. And at the end of the day, when you're out of high school, you're not going to be thinking about whether you were valedictorian or not. You're going to be looking back at your fun memories you made. Thank you.
My aunt used to say before someone would pray for a meal, this is not the time to pray for world peace, meaning that let's get the show on the road, so I'll try to make this short and sweet for you. I remember sitting in my chair at Packard when I was in the 7th grade, listening to the valedictorians and salutatorians read their speeches. I had such a deep respect and admiration to become one of these people. To achieve the highest academic success a high school student could have was my goal, and a goal I was able to achieve. The hard work that I've put in for 4 years, and might I add, 4 long years, have led up to this moment. This moment feels extraordinary, but it feels this way because I worked for it, staying up late writing an 8-page paper for Miss Marsh that I procrastinated for weeks, studying for hours for Miss Donnelly's bird call test, even though I thought it was pointless, and sometimes not studying at all for Mr. Parent's quizzes because those are easy peasy, has put me in the position I am in here today. Earning it by working my butt off has made this moment feel that much more enjoyable. Each of my fellow classmates have earned some kind of achievement in music, in art, in work, in sports, in academics, and even in their life because we have made it here. Once a dream to graduate has become a goal that we have achieved. I will end today by quoting one of my favorite teachers, Mr. Bogus. A dream will stay a dream unless you have steps to how you achieve it. That's what makes a dream into a goal. Also, E.T. is a Star Wars movie.
Concession stand. Unfortunately, tonight our guest speaker was not able to join us live, so I have the privilege of reading her bio for you. This year's speaker is Miss Kathy A. November Norzer, an RN, a BSN, MSN, NPBC, NEA, BC. Kathy's a 1982 graduate of Newton Falls High School, a 1985 graduate of Trumbull Memorial Hospital School of Nursing, a 2000 graduate from the University of Akron, where she obtained her Bachelor of Science in Nursing. She's a 2002 graduate of Kent State University, where she obtained her Master's of Science in Nursing, Parent-Child Nursing, Women's Health Nurse Practitioner. She is a board-certified nurse practitioner and a board-certified advanced nurse executive. Having held leadership roles in the past 20 years, for her career, she currently serves as the Chief Nursing Officer at University Hospital's St. John Medical Center in Westlake, Ohio. Kathy's been a keynote speaker at many national conferences and received many awards over her 36 years as a nurse, including most recently the 2020 Cleveland Magazine Faces of Caring Award, and she was a finalist for the 2019 March of Dimes Ohio Nurse Leader of the Year Award. Kathy takes pride in her leadership team. She provides exceptional care not only to patients and families, but their team takes care of each other. Her leadership style is one that allows all teammates to know they are important, valuable contributors to a team. Kathy has 2 children, Allison, who's an emergency room physician in Minnesota, and her son Matt works in sales. He is married to Emily, and they just had their first baby, Ember Francis. Kathy, congratulations on your grandchild. When not spending time with her family or on her hobby farm in Richfield, Ohio, Kathy has a passion for travel and horses. As a matter of fact, we had to send Tom to video this. She just recently came back from sunny state of Florida. She prefers to take vacations in winter months and spend time showing her quarter horse, Gatsy, during the summer months. Thank you, Kathy, for joining us by way of video. We are missing you here tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, 2021 graduates. As a 1982 Newton Falls graduate, I am honored to address you this evening. As you entered into your much anticipated senior year of high school, you were presented with challenges brought on by the COVID pandemic. The good news is we are recovering from the pandemic as a result of 37% of the U.S. population being vaccinated and 33 million naturally infected. The debate remains if we will reach the point of herd immunity, whereas enough Americans are protected from the virus and it eventually goes away, or will the virus continue to linger and become a more manageable threat that exists, but in smaller number? The outcome is still to be determined. In the midst of the pandemic, you missed out on planned activities, were subject to remote learning, isolation and quarantine. Many of us faced loss of jobs, loss of lives, and loss of what we once knew as our norm. Despite these variables, you had the benefit of learning to be flexible, adapting quickly, and opportunity to discover and utilize coping skills as our daily lives were disrupted. So what is the message, and how does being forced to be adaptable, flexible, and having to pull out our coping skills benefit you? As you move into adulthood, you will find that regardless of the path you take, there will be occasions when you need to be adaptable, flexible, and often put your coping skills into high gear as you're faced with the challenges of life. Now, before you start thinking, yikes, this is depressing, let's look forward into the windshield that is far bigger than the rearview mirror and vision your individual life as you want it to be. Let's consider a couple of things. Your current situation, where you are today, where you have been the last 18 years, your upbringing, good, bad, indifferent, does not determine your destiny and path forward. I have a couple of recommendations for you. This is food for thought. Ideally, a message of inspiration that allows you to open your heart and your mind to see what God's plan is for you, what your destination is, what path you're supposed to take. Discover what God-given talents you have and put them to good use. Take advantage of your strengths. But first things first, find your inner peace. What makes you feel at peace? What are your passions? What do you enjoy? Notice I emphasize you, and that's because no matter what other people like, are passionate about, or aspire to do or be, you have to know you and be you to have that inner peace and thrive. Otherwise, chasing another's dreams will keep you running in circles. Define your own success. What does success look like to you? I'd like to get rid of that old adage that continues to suggest that only doctors or lawyers are successful. There are successful people in a multitude of arenas. For example, I don't measure my success by my credentials or salary. Rather, I believe I am successful as a mother, having raised 2 children into highly functioning adults. One of them happens to be a physician and the other in skilled trades and sales, both very successful. That defines my success. Find your strengths and God-given talents. We all have them. It's proven that when we utilize our God-given talents in our careers and professions, the education and learning comes easier and is retained better. That makes sense. But I'm not necessarily suggesting seeking easy, as life is difficult, but we can make life better for ourselves without expecting it to be easy. Have perseverance. There are many resources out there for you. These include scholarships and internships, apprenticeships, grants, loan forgiveness, stipends, work programs. None of these will just fall on your lap. Often you will have to go back time and time again. However, if you want something bad enough, keep pursuing. Next, own it. Don't make excuses about why you can't do something. Rather, seek resources. Accept responsibility for your choices and your outcomes. Take responsibility. Practice saying, I am responsible. When you try something and it's not for you, don't feel like a failure. Do not consider this a fail. Consider this an opportunity to try something that you found wasn't for you. Chalk this up to an experience. An experience is not a failure. Failure is doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same outcome, especially if the outcome is an undesirable one. And don't be afraid to hit the reset button. Unless you are one of the few people that know from the time you are in grade school what you are going to be, there's a high probability you have more than one job or career in your lifetime. Again, not a failure. Hit the reset button and move on to something else. Time goes quickly. Seize the moment. The older you get, the faster time goes. Time is something you cannot get back. Don't waste time dwelling on the should-haves or the could-haves or the life's not fair or the obstacles. Life will present you with roadblocks and challenges. However, you have the ability, the coping skills, and can find the resources to get you beyond the roadblocks we all face. You have had the privilege to live through a pandemic and learn adversity. Hold your heads high, seniors. You got this. The best is yet to come. You want to know what your future looks like? Create it. Nothing is impossible. Be all that you can be and then some. Love life. Love one another. Be kind and considerate. Remember, good things happen to good people. God knows your path. Keep your minds and your hearts open to the messages that will direct you down that path. So here's wishing you the absolute best, the ability to fulfill your dreams and aspirations, Much love and happiness for the duration of your lives. Stay safe and be happy. May God bless all of you.
Welcome back again. I hope you're enjoying tonight. A nice, low-key, relaxed atmosphere. We did enjoy it last year. That's why we came back instead of being stuffy and humid in Packard. Before I give my last final comments to our senior class, there are a couple of things I want to do. I want to congratulate our spring sports. Our boys baseball team yesterday lost in the sectional finals to the #1 seed at Rootstown. Today, our girls softball team lost in the district finals to, the #1 seeded team, Ursuline. And tomorrow we still have seniors involved in the district track meet at Cuyahoga Heights, and we are wishing them the best as they move on, hopefully advancing to regionals for the following weekend. Also, we want to thank our local sponsors of scholarships, our American Legion, the AMVETS, all the different organizations, the athletic boosters, and the many individuals that just do memorial scholarships for our students. Altogether, the community of Newton Falls donated $41,000 to our seniors to move on to college. I also want to make a note that $722,000 of scholarship money has been given to our seniors by their local, by not only the local organizations, but the colleges and universities they are going to be attending. Seniors, this is the moment you've waited for. It's the last time you have to hear me give you any type of comments or advice or anything of that nature. I hear the horns going wild out there because of that. But I have a 6.5-minute challenge. That's all the longer our guest speaker took, so I promised I would not take any more time than that. First off, we can sit back and we can think about all the terrible things that happened this year, or we could look to the future and we can be thankful for the many lessons we learned during this past year. First and foremost, we learned resilience. We learned how to overcome struggles and adversities in life. We had to overcome schedules and scheduling conflicts just to attend school. Secondly, college students, a positive in your life, you've already experienced what alternating days are like. You spent the entire school year, except the last 6 weeks, doing a hybrid A-B schedule, and that's what college schedules are exactly intended. Very seldom will you attend a college class 5 days a week. And you had to learn how to be self-disciplined and do the work on the off days. Thirdly, for those of you who are not going to college, you had the opportunity, again, in a hybrid schedule, that many of you work jobs. You learned through the struggles how to man up, do the things you need to do to get your education done, to get here tonight, to get your diploma, and still start earning an income and being a part of the workforce. There's also a couple very important lessons we learned in life, characteristics that have been forgotten by our society. The characteristic of caring. None of us wanted to wear a mask. None of us wanted to attend school, be 6 feet apart and do things like that. But we did it not only for our own health, but we did it for those around us and those that we care about. We also learned the revitalization of the family. What is a family unit? What is the extended family? We took care of our grandparents, our aunts and uncles, and all the different members of our family that we were concerned, were they getting their groceries? Were they getting the basic needs they need for life? So that revitalization of family came back into play through this pandemic. And lastly, we learned how to think outside the box. We had to totally turn our world upside down and find a way to keep moving forward and be successful. And class, you've done that. We've succeeded with that. And we're going to continue to succeed and hopefully continue to think outside the box for more positive aspects in our future. Seniors, I hope the teachers have taught you the necessary book knowledge needed for you to move on to the next step in your life, whether it be college, trade school, military, or the workforce. And I also hope the teachers have taught and modeled the necessary skills and characteristics it needs to be positive members of an adult society. We challenge you that whatever community you choose to live in, that you will stand up and fight for causes that not only benefit you, but benefit society and your community as a whole. We want you to remember, Newton Falls is always your home. You will soon be members of the Arthur J. Prescott Alumni Association, the Newton Falls Alumni Association, and moving forward, we wish you the very best in your careers. At this time, Madam President of the Board of Education and other members of the board that are present, I present to you the class of 2021. I attest to you as board members that all the seniors present here tonight have fulfilled all the requirements set forth by the state of Ohio to receive their high school diplomas. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Bailey Danielle Adams. Noah J. Baker.
Shane Riley Ferrillo Battison.
Gavin Burvish. Derek James Binion. Brianna Nicole Brookover. Morgan Elise Briner. Cassidy Olivia Burke. Luke William Butler. Kobe Lee Kalane. Josie Christie. Spencer Tecumseh Koslow. Blake Anthony Cox. Julian Cunningham. Hannah Elizabeth Decker. Luke Evan Dickey. Ronnie Joseph Lee Dillon. Chloe Marie Downing. Gary Lee Fedorov III. Samantha Joe Ford. Madeline Ashley Fowler. Brandon Robert Gibson. Haley Ray Gilmore. Joseph Edward Gossick. Alexandria Rhiannon Guthrie. Madison Genevieve Hayden. Courtney Rose Hankins. Alyssa Marie Hartley. Holly Elizabeth Hedge. Tyler Kathleen Hogue. Joshua Eugene Honeycutt. Caleb Malachi Howard. Liam Mitchell Howard. Carter Anthony Hofford. Brianna Leanne Hudson. Delaney Ann Johnson. James McCammon Keys. Ian Russell King. Joey Klein. Olivia Rose Kierson.
Adam Cade Lemasters. Jonah Alexander Litvak. Ethan Michael Lowry. Chloe Esther Victoria Moss. Christian Wayne McCabe. Blaine Allen Mann. Cole Anthony Marquette. Autumn Sky Miller. Tariq Mutfla. Lucas Muncie. Tasani Nicole Musser. Jalen Renee Nicholas. Travis Scott Pennington. Jorian Evan Pizzolo. Kaylee Marie McFarland. Seth Alexander Quick. Josh Radcliffe. Madison Olivia Rutherford. Taryn Riley Salmons. Andrew Michael Sorotka. Damian Lee Sykes. Atlanta Jade Spallinger. Blake Carlton Spurlock. Brianna Lillian Steffens. Brittany Nicole Stevens. David Eugene Turner Jr. Olivia Riley Van Overbeck. Nathaniel Jason James Watson. Lena Ann Wissanen.
At this time, seniors, we are going to ask that Bailey Adams come back to right outside the concession stand. And seniors, if you could please gather up front by the swing set. They are turning lights on for you. Since we're outside, we're going to get everyone together for throwing their caps. So seniors, please take the next 2 minutes and quickly gather by the swing set.
They're starting to go out.
What up, baby? What up, baby? I don't know. Let's go.
Seniors, while you are gathering up by the swing set, we do want to remind you, Mrs. Howard and a couple other staff members will be to the side of the concession stand to hand out your diplomas.
At this time, would the class of 2021 please move your tassel from the right to the left on your cap, indicating that you are now graduates and alumni of Newton Falls High School. Congratulations.
Gentlemen, please remove your caps. May God be with the class of 2021 as we continue on to better things. Graduation isn't just the end of high school, but it's the beginning of something new. May the path you choose be untroubled, but challenge you to be something great. May we walk safely as we continue to follow our dreams. May our adventures be full of laughter as God's gentle hand guides us to the right decision-making in which we shall follow. Amen.
Your little hands wrapped around my finger, and it's so quiet in the world tonight. Your little eyelids flutter 'cause you're dreaming, so I tuck you in, turn on your favorite night light. To you, everything's funny. You got nothing to regret. I'd give all I have, honey, if you could stay like that. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, just stay this little. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, it could stay this simple. I won't let nobody hurt you, won't let no one break your heart, no one will desert you. Just try to never grow up. And never grow up. You're in the car on the way to the movies, and you're mortified your mom's dropping you off. At 14, there's just so much you can't do, and you can't wait to move out someday and call your own shots. But don't make her drop you off around the block. Remember that she's getting older too, and don't lose the way that you dance around in your PJs getting ready for school. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, just stay this little. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, it could stay this simple, and no one's ever burned you, nothing's ever left you scarred. And even though you want to, just try to never grow up. Take pictures in your mind of your childhood room. Memorize what it sounded like when your dad gets home. Remember the footsteps, remember the words said, and all your little brother's favorite songs. I just realized everything I have is someday gonna be gone. So here I am in my new apartment in a big city. They just dropped me off. It's so much colder than I thought it would be, so I tucked myself in and turned my nightlight on. Wish I'd never grown up. I wish I'd never grown up. Oh, I don't wanna grow up. Wish I'd never grown up. Could still be little. Oh, I don't wanna grow up. Wish I'd never grown up. It could still be simple. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up. Don't you ever grow up. Just stay this little. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up. Don't you ever grow up. Could stay this simple. Won't let nobody hurt you. Won't let no one break your heart. And even though you want to, please try to never go. Don't you ever go. Never grow up. Just never grow up. I always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with our future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. I always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears, but never thought I'd walk away with so much joy but so much pain. And it's so hard to say goodbye, but yesterday's gone. We gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment. So glad I got to know you. gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.